Have you ever been wronged, like really wronged?
Oh, yeah.
It makes you wonder, is forgiveness even possible in those
It's
situations?
tough. Yeah.
That's what makes the story of Joseph so powerful.
Absolutely. Talk about a story of betrayal and redemption.
This deep dive, we're going deep into the book of Genesis, chapters 45 through 47. This is where things get really intense.
The climax of the whole saga.
Okay, so picture this. Joseph's brothers, they were insanely jealous of him, right? So jealous they sold him into slavery.
Can you imagine?
Years pass, and Joseph, he's not a slave anymore. He's risen to power in Egypt. Like, serious power.
Second in command to the Pharaoh himself.
And guess who comes knocking at his door, desperate for help?
Talk about an awkward family reunion.
I can't even imagine. Those brothers, they had to be freaking out.
You know they were sweating it.
But here's the thing. Joseph, he doesn't take revenge. He doesn't unleash years of pent-up anger and bitterness.
No, he does something truly remarkable.
He forgives them.
And it's not just a quiet, oh, forget about it. He owns his story.
He does.
He tells his brothers, and this is straight from the book of Genesis, "It was not you who sent me here, but God."
Wow.
That is a huge statement.
So he's saying that everything that happened to him, all that pain and suffering, it was part of some bigger plan.
That's exactly it.
It's mind-blowing, really.
And, it's something I think we all struggle with, right?
Totally.
Finding meaning in the midst of suffering. Seeing the bigger picture when life throws you a curveball.
It's so easy to get stuck in the why me.
Absolutely. But Joseph's story, it offers a powerful perspective.
It really makes you think.
It does. Now imagine you're Joseph's dad, Jacob.
Oh, man.
You thought your son was dead, gone for years, and suddenly you find out he's not only alive, but he's like a big shot in Egypt.
That's gotta be, I don't even know, what would you even...
It's a lot to process.
Total mind blown, right.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, you get an invitation to move your entire family to Egypt.
Right, during a famine.
Exactly. Talk about a leap of faith.
It would be terrifying.
Oh, absolutely. And you can see that tension in Jacob. It's not like he jumps at the chance.
Yeah.
He needs reassurance.
Well, yeah. Who wouldn't?
And that's when he has this incredible vision, this direct encounter with God. It's in chapter 46.
Oh, yeah, I remember this part.
God speaks directly to Jacob and says, and I'm quoting here, "Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I will make you into a great nation there." Powerful stuff.
So powerful. And it's interesting, right, because God is acknowledging Jacob's fear. He's not dismissing it.
Right.
He's saying, hey, I know this is scary, but trust me.
And that's what makes these stories resonate even today. These are universal human experiences.
Yeah.
Facing the unknown, wrestling with doubt, needing that reassurance to take a risk.
Totally. I mean, who hasn't been there?
Exactly. It's about trusting that there's a bigger picture, even when we can't see it.
And, back then, having a vision from God, that was like the ultimate reassurance.
No doubt about it. It highlights the magnitude of Jacob's decision, the significance of this journey he's about to embark on.
And it sets the stage for some really interesting stuff when they actually arrive in Egypt.
Because remember, Joseph isn't just responsible for his family now. He's got an entire nation to worry about.
Right. The famine is still raging. So how does he even begin to handle a famine?
Well, it's not like he can just wave a magic wand.
Right.
This is where his leadership skills really shine.
Okay. So what does he do?
He's strategic about it. It's not just, here's some food, everyone fend for yourselves. He sets up a system.
A system.
Yeah, a way to distribute grain, manage resources, make sure everyone gets what they need.
Wow. So he's thinking long term.
Exactly. He's thinking about the Egyptians, his family, everyone.
He really turned a horrible situation into an opportunity to make a difference.
He did. It makes you wonder how differently things could have gone,
Yeah, I mean, talk about a life-altering experience. But through it all, look what came out of it.
And speaking of powerful moments, we can't forget that meeting between Jacob and the Pharaoh.
Oh, yeah, with Jacob blessing the Pharaoh.
Right. I mean, imagine that. Here's Jacob, this shepherd, this man who has been through so much.
And he blesses the most powerful person in Egypt.
It speaks volumes about the respect Joseph had earned, not just for himself, but for his family, their heritage, everything.
It's like even though Joseph went through this really dark time, it ultimately led to blessings for so many people.
It really goes to show you sometimes what seems like the end is just the beginning of something much bigger.
It's like a ripple effect. Joseph's story, it reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there's always potential for growth, for forgiveness, for something truly incredible to emerge. So the next time you're facing a challenge, remember Joseph. Remember that even when things seem hopeless, hope has a way of finding its way through. And that's what makes these stories so incredibly powerful and relevant even thousands of years later. Thanks for joining us for this